Hi, fifth grade families and kids. Hope you're having a great weekend, enjoying some cooler weather. It's been nice and sunny, but a little lower temperatures, which means fall's coming. Fall officially starts, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. We'll talk about that real quick in science coming up this week with the fall equinox. Just want to come at you with a quick update for your Sunday for the week ahead, September 21st through 25th. So here we go. Let's see. There we go. Okay, big thing, first of all, this week on Monday, we have our picture day. So that's an out of uniform day. And of course, think about appropriate dress, appropriate clothing, but something nice to wear for picture day. I believe our picture time is somewhere around 12:30, so it's kind of midday. Just kind of consider that, I suppose, when it comes to what you might wear and things like that, if you want to bring another change of clothes. Um, Also this week, we're going to have some map testing. I believe we're going to target Thursday for the map test. That's our usual thing we've been doing the last couple of years, is to take our fall benchmarking and see how the kids are looking. Especially interested to see how it looks, coming off of the quarantine time and all the time we lost last year. At any rate, we'll have that. I believe we're targeting Thursday. We do have to kind of confirm scheduling with being able to get down to the computer lab, coordinate with other grade levels and things. We'll start with math this week. So again, we'll maybe send another heads up email, but usually tell the kids don't worry about it too much. As far as preparing, it's just a matter of coming in, seeing what you know. The test is designed to get more difficult the better you do, and so it's not a thing to worry about. It's just kind of letting us see where you're at. Also interesting, last week we had a Wednesday evacuation due to a gas leak in the boiler room. So basically with that, there was a little situation that Duke Energy had to come in and investigate. And we were outside until it was determined to be safe to re-enter the building. We were actually outside a little over 2 hours. So it kind of threw a wrench into our plans, but that'll happen. And so just like things have been a little different this year, we certainly weren't expecting that to go on. But really, overall, the kids did a nice job. It obviously messed us up from being able to, get into our regular class things. And so some of the stuff I'll share coming up this week, because you might sound a little repetitive, because some of it kind of threw off our schedule quite a bit. So anyway, the kids did a nice job, responded well. No big problems. We're all hungry by the time it actually happened, right before we would have normally eaten lunch. So we didn't actually get to eat lunch until about 1 o'clock. And when you get used to eating lunch at 11 in the morning, by 1 o'clock you're pretty hungry. But anyway, the kids are doing pretty good. Certainly a lot of questions, a lot of confusion from them, and just a little nervousness, I guess, about the whole situation. But overall, as far as their behavior outside and just taking the time to just be flexible, let's just wait and see what happens here. They did a pretty good job. So thanks to them. Thanks, you guys, for being good for us. And it very obviously an uncertain time for everybody, but we adjusted to it well, and we kind of got back on track by the end of the week. All right, so there's our updates. Just real quick to go back over what we'll be getting into this coming week. Last week, again, with having missed a little bit of time, we only just got to finish the textbook lesson on investigation and do a little wrap up with that. This week, what we'll get into is actually practicing some investigating, which I had planned to get to by the end of last week, but we just again, with our schedule getting thrown off, didn't quite want to dive into things. We'll do a little practice with survey data, collecting some data with a survey type question, and then presenting that data. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll get to this bounce experiment, which I'll obviously explain to the kids, which I like to get to every year. It's a fun one to do. I put hopefully in there because as we've seen, things get a little slowed down, but hopefully we'll get to start that midweek or by the end of the week as far as what we'll get covering science. So we'll actually practice doing a couple quick and easy investigations to get us some good work with the processes involved with that. In math last week, we were going into the extended multiplication work, multiplying by larger and larger numbers, and the process for kind of breaking down those big numbers and solving them kind of step by step. And the kids were actually doing a pretty good job. We had a quick quiz Friday, really not too many big problems, not too many issues as far as what I saw. The kids overall showing they were pretty ready for that, and kind of, again, picking up the pace and getting back on track from some of the times we missed, especially at the end of last year. This week, we're going to carry that over into working on numerical expressions. We'll work on the order of operation. So if we have not just multiplication, but also some subtraction and addition and division mixed into one expression, one long expression, where to start, how to go about solving that. So just like with multiplication, larger problems, this will be just working through that process to please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which I'm sure the kids remember from maybe even third grade or fourth grade. And the way we can attack those kind of problems. So I'm looking forward to that as we get deeper and deeper into our fifth grade math. English. So last week we were working on nouns, common and proper nouns, singular and plural nouns. No big problems. Kids seem to be pretty good with that. This week we'll work on some tricky or irregular plural nouns, like over here, like we see child becomes children, tooth become teeth when they're plural, goose becomes geese, mouse becomes mice. When we get to those irregular plurals. And we've talked about it, and some of the kids are, kind of had their own statements about, English is a pretty tricky language to learn. And so we have all these exceptions to the rules based on the way our language has evolved over the centuries, I guess you could say. And then we'll also get to singular and plural possessive nouns, which again would just be a good way to kind of get back into the routine of working through the textbook, working through the workbook. And I did want to bring this up and talk about work in the workbook with the homework and just doing the assigned page. It actually kind of got to the point now where I wanted to bring it up with parents even. It's been something of a odd occurrence and more frequently than I would have expected. And it's kind of unique to this year. And maybe it's just a matter of getting back into the swing of being in school. But on more than one occasion, in fact, more than just a handful of occasions, I've had kids that didn't do the assigned workbook page for homework. So we have our textbook, which we work on a lesson, and then the workbook is what they will take home and work on a little extra practice at home. And on more than one occasion, I've gone around to check homework, and somebody said, well, I did the wrong page last night, and they'll show me the page they did, and so they did something, but it was like it kind of caused me some puzzling thought, I guess, as far as like what's causing this to happen. So I've done what I can as far as writing homework down on the board and having them write down in their planners and posting to Rediker. And this has happened often enough with enough different kids that it's caused me to go back and look on Rediker and check did I type in the wrong page? What's going on here? But it's become pervasive enough of an issue that I feel like we actually had a talk as the class, like, look, guys, let's make sure when I assign a page, we write it down in the planner. We, check Rediker if you need to. And I really don't know what else to do other than that. And so this is kind of like my last little step of like maybe coming to parents and saying, like, if we're checking homework, maybe you can help a little bit with, checking to make sure the kids are doing the right page. Again, it's odd that this has happened, and I guess there's a lot of odd things about this year, but it's gotten to the point now that enough kids have come to me throughout the few times I've assigned the homework in the workbook that, obviously most of the kids are doing the right page, but it's not a rare occurrence, obviously, that somebody's doing the wrong page. And again, I'm kind of flabbergasted at this point. So I just kind of wanted to point that out to parents. Maybe if you can just help and double check, you maybe ask your kid if they're one that's done that. Again, it's kind of more common than I would have expected. Maybe once or twice, but it seems like several times there's been several different students that on several different occasions have done the wrong page in the workbook than what was assigned. So at this point, I'm kind of out of answers or out of ideas on what to do. So I'm just coming to you, say, hey, please maybe double check it, especially if your kid's one that would let you know that they did that. And hopefully we'll get that figured out. It's maybe just an anomaly, maybe just a crazy coincidence that it's happened this often. But hopefully now, once we've kind of made a point, like, please make sure you do the right page, we'll get that corrected. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. Other than that, we're doing a pretty good job. Kids really had a great week last week, especially with the distraction of the evacuation and all that. That can just throw a whole day into chaos, but they did a good job bouncing back. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hope we have a great week coming up ahead too to keep it rolling. And let's get back at it soon. I'll see you guys soon. Talk to you later.